You're tuning into a wake-up call, which is your weekly dose of purpose packed with science-backed tools to beat burnout and boost happiness.
Hosted by us, Tess Brower and 7-time world champion Layne Beachley.
We're the founders of Awake Academy. This podcast mixes raw life lessons, expert wisdom, and practical tips
to help you stop sleepwalking through life and start living it on your terms.
You ready to wake up and thrive?
Let's go. Welcome to a wake-up call. We are kicking off today's episode with a wake-up call that one of our listeners would like from us.
Okay.
Mainly you.
Are they sharing a wake-up call or are they asking a question?
They're asking us. Okay. I'm 42. I'm a mum, a team leader, the one that people come to when things fall apart. I tick all the boxes: partner, kids, mortgage, calendar full. On paper, it looks great, but I feel empty. Like I've been living everyone else's version of success. Lately, my body's been whispering: migraines, gut issues, fatigue I can't shake. I scroll at night to numb myself, and then I wake up wired at 3 a.m. Wired, tired, and fried, that's what we say. I keep telling myself it's just a season, but this season has been lasting a little bit longer than that. I haven't cried in front of anyone in years, but I cry in the car, I cry in the shower, I cry whenever I can cry alone. I haven't said no in months, but I fantasize walking away from it all. I'm not broken, but I know I'm not okay. You sound a little broken. I think I'm asleep with my eyes open and I don't know how to wake up myself up. So I'm writing to you. Layne, how do you listen to your gut when you've spent years silencing it? And Tess, what's the first question I should ask myself to come home again? Please give me a wake-up call. I think I'm ready. Oh,
I think I'm ready?
Yeah.
Well, when you're thinking it, you're not trusting it.
Yeah.
I believe she knows she's ready. Otherwise, she wouldn't have reached out. But that's a lot. There's a lot going on there. And the question to me was, how do I listen? Based on that.
Yeah. How do you listen to your gut when you've spent years silencing it?
Is it safe to listen? Because if we start breaking down everything that's going on in her life, she's got you said the ticking the boxes around success and having everything on the outside looking great, but on the inside she's crumbling. And it would probably be really scary to acknowledge any one of those things, let alone all of them. So from my perspective, what I would do is just first honor the fact that where I'm at externally is not incongruent with who I am internally. And then asking myself, what am I going to do now? Not coming from a place of fear, because that's where she's driven, that's where she's made a lot of her decisions, is what does love do now? What does love choose now? What does love for me do now? And that may be having a crucial conversation. It may be looking for a therapist. It may be taking a day off. It may be having conversations with the family about how she's truly feeling and asking for help. But a lot of those things, a lot of the fears associated with taking any of those actions stem from feeling unsafe. So creating a space of safety within herself. What I like to say is dissatisfaction is the precursor to change. Are you dissatisfied enough with the aspects of your life before you're now willing to start doing something different? Because if you're not willing to be dissatisfied with where you're at, then you'll keep doing what you've always done. You'll keep masking, you'll keep hiding, retreating, showing up, but falling apart. And you'll just keep doing that until you hit rock bottom. And the purpose of this podcast and our book and everything that we do is to shortcut that struggle, is to prevent people from hitting rock bottom before they believe they can bounce up.
Yeah, or hitting rock bottom and having a toolkit. Do you resonate with her? Have you been her?
Absolutely, I have. What about you? Do you resonate with her?
Oh, I could have written this email.
Did you?
I did not. No, I could have written this email a number of times in life. So I just want to, we're not allowed to have names. So to you, to anyone listening to this or watching this who resonates with parts of this, I feel like that may be the soul's journey as well. So I just want to give you a hug and thank you for your honesty and vulnerability in it. As you said, life is, two parts are hard. Like, it's hard to look after yourself and say no and look after your well-being, but it's also hard staying stuck. And I feel like that we're on a seesaw of change all the time, of making decisions, and it's just got to, what one sucks harder? Which one is harder?
Choose your hard. What's hard harder. And what's hard worse?
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like just honoring you in saying that when you finally get there, that's the moment where it's really dark and you're in the mud and you don't know what one to do first. As you said, therapy is like our number one tool for anyone to go down and never stop, because there's always growth in that. But I'd love you to do a life stock take.
Yeah, life audit.
Yeah, and look at where you can claim back 30 minutes a day or 10 or 5 just to put in one wellbeing practice. And I find that was the biggest change for me, was putting myself first, because then I started looking for those areas to put myself first, and then that one would ignite the other, and then one change. So it was really slow.
Because the opposite of that is believing that you're not worthy of being put first. Yes, you are worthy. And therefore, because you don't believe you're worthy, you are constantly now seeking evidence to prove that that's correct.
Yeah, that you don't have the time. Worthiness shows up. I don't have the time. I have to look after everyone else.
I don't deserve this.
I don't have the money.
Yeah. All that scarcity. All that
that's unworthiness to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. That's how it shows up.
Yeah.
Once you believe that you're worthy, that's when you'll do the life audit.
Yes.
And that's just a mindset shift.
Yeah.
That's not just something that you wait for someone to give you a permission slip to. Dear reader, you are now worthy. Yeah. Go ahead and write that note.
Yeah. I actually coached a lady who could have written this email as well. And when she came to me, it was a real moment for me, because I was staring back at my old self looking at me. And I think that's the other thing, is we mirror.
That's the beauty of every interaction. Every interaction is a mirror.
Yeah, showing you where you need to grow. And she said, I'm scared to go home because I just don't feel like I can handle any of the tasks, like food on the table, shower, bedtime, like all of this they're really heavy routines when you've just had a really big day. And she wasn't putting any space in her day at all for herself. And I asked her just for 1 week just to give me 20 minutes. And I just sent her a journal prompt, and slowly, and then I turned it into exercise, and we just slowly changed that. And all of a sudden she started giving herself an hour. Some days it was 30 minutes. Some days it was just 10 minutes. But she always prioritized herself in some way, shape or another. And I saw her about 3 or 4 months ago, and she just cried in my arms, and she just said, I love being a mum again.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it makes me really emotional.
Yeah,
because,
it sure does.
Like, that is all you want to be, is a good mum or a good parent or a good human. And when you strive yourself of looking after yourself, so you're so burnt out and you feel that you're not worthy and you've got to look after everyone else because you're just keeping the wheels in motion, self-care feels selfish.
Yeah.
But when you show up as a selfless human, and I have on so many times, it's one of my biggest life regrets or learnings, however I look at it, that it's only when you acknowledge your care, your self-care is the best version of yourself that you change.
That's a beautiful point, because I think about parents who are doing it solo.
Yeah.
And I can imagine they're probably saying, well, it's all right for you. You've got a partner to support you, or parent-in-laws, or you've got support. What about me? I have no support. I have no time. I can't even scratch my butt. I don't even have the capacity to think about myself because it all goes towards keeping this other human safe. What advice do you give to them?
I would always love, you always wake up, all of us wake up no matter what time we have, and let that be the first word or intent you say to yourself. And then I would slowly start focusing on ways, hacking the ways that you show, when you eat really good nourishing food, and it can be super quick. Yeah. And then you're showing yourself self-care in the way that, rather than eating scrappy white toast with a bit of Vegemite on it and running out the door.
Which I loved as a kid.
Yeah, I still love it now sometimes. On white sourdough though.
Yeah. So woke.
But it's those tiny moments where you're going to eat anyway, so eat really nutritious. And I think they build on each other.
Yeah, okay. So
what
stacking,
about you?
habit stacking.
Stacking. What about you?
I think that's perfect advice. It's just doing the little things right.
Tiny.
Because that's what became my advantage as an athlete. And it's what helps me maintain my energy and sustains my sense of purpose every day is those little micro habits that are non-negotiables that are stacked. But that takes
don't cost anything either.
They don't cost anything, but they do take a little bit of time to create. And if you're not willing to at least take that time to create, then you're going to stay stuck in the hamster wheel of life.
Yeah.
So you have to stop and at least give you 5 minutes to go, okay, what's one thing today that I can do that demonstrates to me that I am worthy, that I care about myself, and that I know will help me show up better to care for others.
Yeah. Do you know what I've been starting to do?
No.
When I pack Benji's lunch, I pack my lunch the same. Because I feel like why do we we want to give our kids the best nutrition, but then you don't take lunch?
So you eat like a 3-year-old?
Well, he eats like me. And I write a love note to myself. And then
put one in Benji's
and put one in Benji's lunchbox too.
Oh, so cute.
And then the other day I put one in my car because I knew I had a long drive and I was feeling really tired, and I just wrote, "You've got this," and I stuck it on my car. And so it's those tiny moments where I look after myself as like a little kid.
Yeah, cool.
That's been a game changer for me.
And the times when we find ourselves, like this lady who wrote this email, when we find ourselves exhausted, we have to ask ourselves, what do I need? And it's normally the fear is stemming from a very young age. So if you can see whatever the age that is of that young person screaming out, what do they need? They normally just need a hug and reassurance and some love and saying it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
When we find ourselves in the struggle, we can always just stop and ask ourselves, what's the basic emotion I'm ignoring or avoiding? Because the answer to that is always positive. So if we can't even think about anything else and we're so overwhelmed with all the options, just stop and go, what's the basic emotion I'm ignoring? Well, the positive answer that comes from that will then inspire the action.
There was a key word in here, endless hours scrolling. I would delete social media immediately. We get people to delete news cycles or news apps all the time.
Stop watching the news, stop doom scrolling.
And find something happy to replace it with. Don't stop and replace with food or TV. Get a good book. And just enjoy being by yourself again. And that was the big thing, like enjoy the time by yourself. We're sending you lots of love.
Yeah, we're wrapping our arms around you.
We trust this has helped you. Please reach out and join our collective. I feel like this will be a safe home for you. We've got lots of people who've been here and are moving through here as well. But try one thing you can do. Just start with 10 minutes a day and reclaim your self-worth.
Yes, just by choosing it.
Okay.
You are worthy.
This is a good segue into today's episode, body image.
Ooh.
But I feel like saying body image, it won't really wrap up everything that we're talking about because we're really talking about self-love. My journey of self-love is very complex. I feel like from some of my earliest memories, I was the most critical to myself, to fit in, to belong. I was a child actress and model, and I remember standing at a very young age doing a spin in front of like 5 talent scouts, and they would like look at my hands and like measure me and
like a toddler in tiara.
No, not that bad.
Okay, good.
But sort of it felt like that. Like that was I good enough to get.
And how old were you?
6, 7, 8 around those times. Someone asked Benji to go into acting and modelling, and I think like really thinking about it at the moment because I just don't want him to have to go to that. Make lots of money though and do lots of things, opens lots of doorways.
He's a natural born actor
yeah,
too, by the way.
I know.
He's a bruiser.
So anyway, that aside, what I've acknowledged in my journey of self-love and self-care is that it has come from a very critical point very early on. It was only when I decided to love myself did I stop overeating, undereating, over-exercising, under-exercising. Like I would think of food on a food cycle 24/7 every day for 32 years.
Wow, that's exhausting.
And maybe not 32, but definitely through school, teenage, it was just work. It was always thinking about food. What can I eat? What can't I eat? Discipline, like rogueness. It was just really exhausting. I remember doing all sorts of therapy around my head noise. And it wasn't till I started like actually doing the work that it started dropping away.
So doing therapy wasn't the work?
It was, but it was different. So I would go in saying like, I'm fat or I'm skinny, like help me through this, therapist. It wasn't until I like went to deep into my pains that I started dropping some of the stories that I had about myself, but it all came down to self-worth and self-love.
Where did the stories around being fat or skinny actually start? Like were they things that your parents said to you, your friends said to you, or was it just the images that you would see in magazines and you compare yourself to them?
All of the above.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I grew up with Victoria's Secret angels being on every cover of every magazine. I played sport for a really long time until I reached 16, 17, and then I stopped, and you just see weight naturally piling on. Gosh, it kills me to say this, but I do remember a boy saying, Tess is fat, when I was probably about 16, 17, when I started like hitting puberty. I'd gone on the pill.
Oh.
And you know what's so funny? I saw him the other day.
No.
I did.
Did you tell him he was fat?
No.
Kidding.
I saw him at a friend's 40th.
Wow.
And
were you triggered when you saw him?
Yeah, I was.
How did you feel when you saw him, when you laid eyes on him? Did you go back to that 16-year-old girl that was being taunted by him?
I did. And I just avoided him. I didn't want to go near him. And he came up to me. He'd had a few drinks.
Liquid courage.
He's like, oh, Tess, I'm so glad I'm seeing you here. And I was like, oh, yeah. And I thought like I'd never speak to this guy ever again because I remember the seed of like shame he put in me.
Mm.
I mean, ultimately I let it.
Yeah, it's what you chose.
16.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to be too hard on you today.
Thank you.
Compassion was my intention.
Yeah, go there, be that. He said, I've been following your story and I've been watching what you're doing, and you've just inspired me so much to really live my life.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, you ruined my, like, how ironic.
Mm. So what was your response when he said that to you?
Thank you. I just
Give him a hug?
Gave him a hug. I said, oh, that's really nice. What are you doing with your life? And I just moved the conversation on. I didn't want to indulge in it because like I find that hard too, because I feel like everybody is an inspiration and an empowerment. It's just I talk about it more. Yeah, it was just a full circle moment for me, to be honest, and I can feel the emotion in me now. I just wanted to jump back in time and give Tess at 16 a hug and say like, this moment will come.
Yeah.
And just like, don't let that ruin your life. Because I remember that was then I just would do all extreme things and I really wore body weight as where I was at in life.
Right. And that was then validated and constantly
in so
reaffirmed.
many different ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was at Virgin, we would go to thousands of events, and one of the biggest ones was Brownlow.
Oh.
And I used to starve myself. Like, it was funny in the office, like all the girls would go on protein diets, only protein.
Yeah.
And then on the day of, we would eat ice so we wouldn't look bloated in our dresses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think I got almost thrown out of the Brownlow.
Did you? What for?
Getting drunk.
Nah, everyone's drunk at Brownlow. How drunk were you?
I was really bored. I was over it. So Liz Ellis and I were just getting too raucous, and I think they wanted to throw us out. So we got silenced.
Yeah, right. Whilst the cameras were on. As soon as the cameras go off and broadcast ends, it goes a little bit.
Yeah, we didn't wait.
You didn't wait. You didn't know what you were watching though. Brownlow is so confusing if you don't understand AFL.
Well, I just really didn't care. Sorry, guys.
Okay, I have always wanted to ask you this question. For context, you never really struggled with body image until what moment?
I was 19, I think. Yeah, around 19 years of age. And that's when I started dating a guy and went on the pill. The fucking pill. Gosh, I turned into this balloon. So I had no concept of body image at all throughout the majority of my teenage years because I was a stick figure. I was skinny. I had no boobs. I got my first bra when I was 19. My girlfriend from
19.
School. Yeah, Josie totook me shopping for my first bra. I wonder why my school teachers...
I know why, because you just lived in bikinis.
Well, not at school. And we wore white blouses. No wonder my science teacher liked me so much. Yeah, the guys didn't really give me a hard time at all. And if they did, I didn't care because I already had my focus. I had my love. I had my passion, and that was surfing. And anything that got in the way of that was really not considered. So, for example, I didn't smoke, I didn't do drugs, I drank a little bit, but more just socially, and I didn't drink to get drunk. But it was when I started to explore the idea of dating, because boys were a distraction to me. Like, I had a lot of boys approaching me, and then they started nicknaming me Frigid Gidget because I wanted nothing to do with them.
Your surfboard was your boyfriend.
That's right. I did lie on it a whole lot more than anything else. So when I went on the pill, my body weight composition just transformed, and it was kind of like the precursor to menopause,
yeah,
but a more extreme version. And I was like, what is this? What do I? And so I got cellulite, and I got fat around my waist and my hips, and so then I became really self-conscious. And then the boyfriend that I had at the time was quite emotionally and verbally abusive around that, like quite coercive and manipulative. And there was, he had very strict boundaries around what I was allowed to wear and how I was allowed to show up and when I was allowed to show up. I was like, and so just to fit in and believe that I was deserving of his love and affection, I did what he did. And so I lost my sense of self in that relationship.
What was the most extreme thing you did?
When I was with him, the most extreme thing I did was listen. I went, okay, I won't wear that bikini, because he would get jealous that guys were checking out my boobs, which were now, I had boobs all of a sudden. I would just conform to his wishes all the time. So I conformed was the most extreme thing I did. But then post that, post that relationship breaking down, I found that I struggled to lose the weight that I was now carrying. And I never had, like I said, no concept. I could eat anything, do anything, and I never put on an ounce of fat. And now all of a sudden I can see it everywhere. Now I'm on the pro tour. I'm being judged for a living.
Yeah.
Right? Not only how I surf, but how I look, how I behave, how I show up. I'm now a spokesperson for surfing.
You go to work.
I go to work naked. Half naked. I had a bikini on. Come on.
Hey, I've worn one of your old bikinis. They are tiny. I cannot believe that you have to surf in those.
Yeah, I know. The most extreme measure I went to was liposuction.
I know. And that is where I wanted to go with this, because so for context, if you haven't heard of Layne's story, your mum.
Oh, my mum died of cosmetic surgery.
Getting liposuction?
No. Yeah, tummy tuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she had a C-section and they botched it up, and so she went back into hospital 7 years later after the C-section that she had with my brother, and due to high blood pressure and low staph levels, she died of a brain hemorrhage on the table. So the last thing I was ever going to do is tell my dad I'm considering cosmetic surgery procedure. For weight, for fat, because I thought to conform and fit in to the surfing world and to be worthy or deserving of attaining sponsorship in a very male-dominated, misogynistic, sexist environment, I had to look and behave a certain way. And that meant having the skinny legs with the keyhole look between your thighs. That meant having the hourglass body, and it meant the traditional surfer girl look, which I don't even know what that was at the time. I just had created my own picture of that. So I thought the only way I'm going to get a sponsor is if I go to the extreme measure of shaving down my thighs.
It's
insane.
It takes your breath away. And I know you so deep, like you throw everything at all costs, and would have been like that back then.
Well, yeah.
You do have a self-compassion still in you.
Yeah.
Looking back at that now,
yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Well, at the time, I convinced myself that it was the right thing to do.
It's amazing when you're in that headspace, what levels you will go to.
Absolutely. What you convince yourself of.
And how much pain you're willing to put yourself through.
100%. So I remember getting the surgery, calling my dad afterwards, because he was the kind of guy that didn't want to know before. Like, I went off to Mexico and surfed 25-foot waves, and I rang him afterwards, and he's like, okay, I'm glad you didn't tell me before you were going, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Dad and I went on a road trip together when I was still recovering. So I had to wear like those Spanx style of shorts to keep the skin together to give it the shape that it needed to be. And I remember on the road trip, on the way home, he told me the whole story about the procedure that Mum took and where he was and how it happened and how he was beside the bed when she started to flatline. And I felt so remorseful. Like, how can I do this to me and to him? Like, why would I do such a thing? So I stopped building myself up with this false validation that it was the right thing to do and just went, I literally felt like an idiot.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? And then once I let go of the need to be a certain way, and I started to accept my body for what it is and recognize that it is just responding to the relationship that I have with it, how I'm fueling it, how I'm nourishing it, how I'm moving it. Like, I needed to have more compassion for it, not keep putting needles or injections or vacuums, which is, I can still remember it. It's traumatizing, the way they slit your skin and stick a vacuum up it and suck the fat out of you. It's horrendous. And I didn't know anything about that. I just need the look. Do what you have to do to give me the look. When Dad told me the story, I was like, oh my God, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why didn't I have this conversation earlier? But and so then
what a wake-up call
that was. It was a massive wake-up call. So then I let go, and then
Did you tell him?
I did.
What did he say?
Dad's never really been great with emotions and feelings, and he forgave me. You know, like he understood and he forgave me, but he was just grateful that it didn't end up in the same way. And that was my mum. So then when I fell in love with my body responded to that. And you know how I talk about World Titles 1 and 7 and process. The year I fell in love with Ken, I fell in love with process. I stopped fantasizing and I stopped like focusing on all the things that were wrong with me and started focusing on taking care of myself and doing things that were nourishing and uplifting and letting go of the fear-based narrative and letting go of all the shit, because when you're in shit, you can't focus on anything other than that. And then my body literally transformed before my eyes. But now I'm in menopause, I'm seeing the consequences of those actions now. Yeah. Like I'm seeing the changes in my legs and my thighs. And I was always comparing my legs to other women. I didn't realize I had such fucking great legs.
You have great legs.
I never realized it because I was always looking at my legs compared to the girl sitting next to me going, my quads are bigger than yours. Maybe I need to stop doing weights or stop running so I can get thinner legs. Like I was always in this comparison analysis.
You need good quads to surf, right?
You need really strong legs to surf, yeah. So anyway, it was probably the biggest regret of my life, getting liposuction to conform to a certain image that actually didn't even exist. It was an imagination. It was a fragment of my imagination that was projected into the future that would give me this sense of self-worth. There you have it. Ta-da. Ta-da. Talk about body image.
When I was lying in a hospital bed in a neck brace surrounded by paralyzed people, it triggered a real control in me. That I had to control everything I ate because I thought I can't control much that was going on around me. So it turned into a bit of a control thing.
You were really skinny when I came to see you in hospital.
Well, I'd lost all of my muscle. I couldn't, because I had neck surgery and like my esophagus was really bad, so I couldn't eat lots of food, and I was determined to get better. And so I just refused to eat any hospital food. I only wanted, and my beautiful family brought in food, soft cut fruit and vegetables, because I had read a study, of course, that if you intermittent fast and you drink lots of bone broth and you eat lots of veggies, your body recovers quicker. And I was just determined to recover. But it did turn into like an obsessive control. And I remember thinking like, you've got to love your body, but I didn't. I hated it. Yeah. I thought that I had failed myself and my body had failed me. Right. That was a big journey of self-forgiveness. How could I let my body get me here?
How could my body let me down so badly that I'm now lying on my back for 3 months looking at a white wall? How dare you?
I'd let myself down. So then like post-hospital, lots of healing, lots of self-forgiveness, lots of mind-body connection. I had previously separated them, but one was different to the other.
Compartmentalized them.
Yeah, even though deep down I knew that intuition and soul and all of that came from within, and that my mind was just this rogue agent that just took me off into these control of many extremes. It wasn't until like I put my body back together, like everything came together, that I forgave myself. But when I fell pregnant with Benji, that again is just a total change, because your body naturally puts on weight. Like you're watching your belly grow, and that was like I've used to looking in a mirror and checking, like everyone does this, like, oh, what does my body look like in a mirror? But all of a sudden you've got this belly, and I'm like it's funny how the body keeps score of what you're looking for. And they weighed me, and then I just refused to get on that scale again. I just thought, that's it, I'm getting rid of the scale. Like, is he healthy? Am I healthy? Yes. Am I doing everything I can to feed and nourish him? Yes. Then I don't need to weigh myself.
Yeah.
And like that was empowering for me, because I wasn't concerned anymore. So I actually have no idea what I was and
and does it matter?
I just let it go. No, but the birth of Benji was the birth of me loving my body.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
No wonder he's such a gorgeous kid. He's definitely going into acting.
Yeah, well, because I had to trust my body. I had to give birth naturally.
Gosh, yeah.
And that was my mantra. I trust my body. I trust my body. And that is when I fell in love with it.
How beautiful. When you had that neck injury, when you crashed into the wall and your whole body shut down and you ignored the symptoms for all that time and ended up in spinal wards after 2 neck surgeries, they literally said, you are not going to be able to give birth naturally.
Yeah.
Because the trauma that your body stored will be reactivated the minute you try and give birth naturally.
Yeah.
So we will not let you naturally.
Yeah.
Well, we advise strongly to not let you have a natural birth.
Yeah.
And so for you to do everything that you can possibly do within your control and your power to ensure that not only your mind but your body is in shape and in calmness and trust, and all of the effort that you and your husband and your OB and your OG and all the O's, obviously I've never given birth, to enable you and empower you to go and do that naturally and allow it to ensure that your body didn't shut down and go back into that traumatic state is such a credit to your self-love and your compassion. And there was no way that it would have happened any other way. You had to love your body. You had to trust your body to be able to do that. Yeah. Otherwise, the ultimate consequence was your life. Yeah. That's what we all knew. We knew that if this goes wrong, Benji may survive, but you may not. Yeah. And I think
every woman walks into birth with that in them, knowing because it is a miracle. Like it truly is a miracle. The anaesthetist one that I decided not to go with for obvious reasons in a minute said to me, why would you want to give birth naturally? Like I can just
cut you open.
Just give you the drugs, cut you open and for like that, there is nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But it wasn't why don't you like what it was the question of
why do you?
Why would you even want to try?
Yeah.
I was thinking I have experienced loss of feeling in my legs. I know of thousands of people who would give anything to feel their legs again. And it is truly one of life's greatest experiences is feeling.
And is that why you chose to go against all of the medical suggestions and recommendations?
I found a team who supported me in that. So still
why were you so committed to giving birth naturally?
Because I trusted myself. I wanted to trust my body. I wanted to surrender to trusting my body and give it a go. And the medical team, like everything is a risk. Everything. Yeah. The OB and Dr. Gillian Spilsbury, who I owe that birth to, when I met her, she said, you have medical trauma. You have a really bad story around your body and we're going to rewrite it together.
Beautiful.
And just by chance we met, and actually in my birthing video when I delivered Benji naturally, Chris delivered him, and I turned around and I said to her, we did it.
Not you, Chris. You were just the donor, mate.
But really I should have said I did it.
Yeah. But it was a team.
But it was a team. Like I had a huge medical team and I debriefed with them after and they said that they had to complete all of this high risk paperwork and do risk assessments but they all knew that I could do it because I did the work. Yeah. And post that, then you've got all of this baby weight and you're breastfeeding and and I just thought I've just got to fuel this baby the best I can, and that means eating all the time and just enjoying that moment. Yeah. It wasn't until a year later that I could even step foot in a gym.
Before we wrap this podcast up with the 3 tips around maintaining a healthy body image, can we just quickly touch on this mentality or this concept or this pressure that women are under to get back to the
bounce back?
Yeah, that bounce back pre-body weight stuff. Like, I know you felt a little bit of pressure to do that. How did you detach from that? How did you just give yourself the time and space?
I was keeping a baby alive.
So you focused on him more than you?
Yeah. I rebirthed myself through birth. When you love yourself, there's no need to bounce back in my world.
Right.
Because bouncing back for me was a real, like a whipping of myself in my most fragile state.
Yeah, because I think about athletes like Serena Williams, for example, prided herself on being able to get back onto the tennis court months after giving birth to her baby. And I just think, what pressure does that put on the body?
Huge.
Yeah.
Whether you have a cesarean or not, you have a dinner plate size open wound in your womb.
Oh, no wonder I didn't have children.
Yeah.
Gross.
I had no tearing and no ab separation because I did a lot of physio, and I mean, people can still do that and still have that. So like there's I am not this unique human. There's just so many ways that this happens.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't look after him and do the opposite to myself. It was like I just need to, and I did slow walks and I nourished myself and I took care of him. And then my bounce back was really long, really slow, and I did it with love.
Yeah.
I learned to approach well-being as love. So my top tool of all tools is, what would love do? What would somebody who loved themselves do, be, and act? Eat, drink, and exercise. And sometimes that means going slow. Sometimes that means going hard. It's just meeting my body wherever I'm at. And that has been the most fundamental change in my life, is what would love do.
That's a really powerful tip and tool for anyone to land on at any time in their lives.
Yeah.
Irrespective of what they're going through. As I always say, when you're in the shit, it's hard to see anything other than shit. But quite honestly, if you have the capacity to just stop and take a deep breath and ask yourself, what would love do now? Then you empower yourself to take different action as opposed to keep going down that rabbit hole. Because
like if love is bounce back, go for it.
Yeah.
But like at what cost, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what's
the driver?
Yeah.
What's driving you to bounce back?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a great segue into the 3 tips that we love to leave our listeners with. And this toolkit is sponsored by our friends at Micronutrition. So what are the top 3 tips that we can share in regards to having a better relationship with our body?
There are tips. So you guys can create your own, but this is what helps us. So self-love, not loathe. What would love do? That's mine.
Okay. Tip number 2 is create the environment for self-love. That means stocking your fridge and your pantry with nutritious foods, because it's too easy to go for the snacks, the chips, the chocolate. If it's not there, you don't eat it. And the second thing is, I get really triggered, especially if I've had a long day and a late night. If I stand in front of a full-length mirror and I'm taking my clothes off, I start pulling myself apart and looking for every flaw in my body. So my number 1 rule is, I do not look at myself in a full-length mirror after dark.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And number 3?
Well, number 3 is, when you do the work, you realize what your triggers are emotionally. So for me, I realized I was emotionally eating to cover the emotional pain and discomfort I held in my body. So as I started releasing that pressure and dissolving those stories and just shining a light on that shame I had around not loving myself, then I started realizing, that's the moment that you go for chocolate or eat a bag of nuts, or, you know, like I started seeing those triggers in front of me.
Yeah.
So just please do the work and get therapy on the bigger issues, not just about why am I eating so much.
Or why am I choosing liposuction? Because that is not the answer.
So
what am I trying to do here? What am I trying to achieve? Oh, I want to fit in. I want to conform. That ain't going to work.
That's right. Yeah. So I guess today was really about our wake-up calls. Yes. So please use this to have a look at your life. Beware the inner critic. It can be really painful to listen to that noise.
That itty bitty shitty committee.
Yeah. And I would just suggest, write a list of all the things you hate about yourself.
No.
And then burn it.
Yes.
And then write what you love about yourself.
Yes. And don't burn it.
And don't burn it, and stick it somewhere that you can see it every day. I have one Post-it note on my mirror for when I'm feeling really shit.
And it says?
you are loved.
Beautiful.
What would have been yours back then? You've got skinny legs.
You've got great legs. I actually got up this morning and I opened up the curtains and I turned around and I had my back into the sun and I saw my silhouette on the wall in front of me. And I just stood there and I'm like, oh, pussycat, sunbeam. Oh, that feels so good. And then I looked at my silhouette and I was like, I have a beautiful body. Like I have an hourglass body and I'm really proud of it. And in my 50s, I'm learning to love my body more and more as I get older. So what my inner Post-it note says every day is, you are beautiful.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Little pussycat. All right. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Please put your comments below.
Should I stop purring?
Talk back to you, please. Please share this love. If this episode resonated with you, we would love more people to hear it. And we are with you. We see you. We feel you. We are you. So have a wonderful day, fueling your body with everything that you love. That's it from us. Toodles.
Toodles. And that's a wrap for today's episode. We'll be dropping a new one every Monday.
If you want to hear more about us, check us out on awakeacademy.com.au or leave a comment or a review because it really does help us. And in the show notes is everything you learnt today.
And if you want to work with us more, join us at the Awake Collective. The link is in the show notes. We'll see you next week. Toodles!